What's going on, everyone? Since the flea markets are still closed, it's time for round 2 of our adventures to the thrift stores. Will I find something great or unique, or just come across nothing but sports games like usual? I'm willing to bet the latter of the two. Finding racing wheels for PS2, original Xbox, and GameCube seem to be somewhat common for my area. And while, yes, I am looking for one for my PS2, this one is way too small. Good for a kid, maybe, but for an adult, I don't think so. The games and DVD section was a little bare minimum this time around. However, I did find this Age of Empires Gold Edition. I don't know why I was compelled to hold this upside down, but whatever. And I don't know how many of you guys play older RTS games, but Age of Empires was definitely one of my favorites growing up as a kid. I have bought this game in the past, and unfortunately, it didn't run on my computer. I also found a copy of Hitman Blood Money for the PS2, surprisingly in near mint condition. I say surprisingly, since this Goodwill in particular, every single time I find something good, it's either missing the disc or the discs themselves are scratched to hell. That's interesting, a carrying case for the Sega Game Gear. Well, it just so happens I was looking for something like this to store my system and games. I would have preferred that hard-shell suitcase thing, but you know what, I'm not going to complain, this is just as nice. Remember what I said before about Wii Fit boards? There's 2 Wii Fit boards here, one of which has the box. They're both $10, and that's not a bad price, although I've seen other Goodwills and thrift stores tag these things for under $5 sometimes. It's not quite $5, but whatever, this is close enough. Yeah, good luck making a breakfast sandwich with this. Next up is that Humane Society resale shop I went to last episode. I doubt they get as much new stuff like a Goodwill or Salvation Army does, but what the hell, I might as well see what they got. I'm looking at that ESPN shuffleboard game there. For whatever reason, I've always enjoyed playing shuffleboard despite it being kinda an old person's game, or so I'm told. We actually used to play this in gym at my old high school. Unfortunately, this set is much too small for me. As far as video games, not much has actually changed. There's a few new things here and there, but nothing that I don't have or care to buy at the moment. Hang on, there's a copy of Terraria for the PS3, but it's digital download only. I don't understand. There's a disc inside. What's the purpose of the disc if this is download only? I'm just gonna put this back and walk away. I have no idea what this is about. Oh god, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. What an amazing title for a movie. And oddly enough, I have actually seen this film, if you want to call it that. It's one of those love it or hate it movies that's developed a very strange cult following over the years. You can actually watch the full movie on YouTube in great quality if you absolutely wanted to. Since YouTube's removing annotations, I'll just leave a link in the description if you're brave enough to watch this. Now this I like. It's a large stereo cabinet by Admiral. It does radio, 8-track, and records, and I don't really know too much about these things, but I've always admired the way they look. I'm not sure if $130 is a decent price or not. My gut says no, considering this thing has definitely seen better days, but hey, I'm no expert. Anyway, let's move on to our next stop. This Goodwill. This is the one I used to go to on a regular basis a few years back, and for every great thing I find, there is something or someone that has to completely 100% ruin it. The first thing I spot is a bunch of DOTA 2 collector figures. I've never played the game, and don't plan to, but it was strange to find so many of these in one area. You think they have enough old school computer keyboards? Jesus Christ. It is almost impossible to go to really any thrift store and not come across some variation of these Seen It DVD board games. I guess people must play these like once or twice and then they end up getting rid of them. Who knows? I got a little excited when I came across this Rampage game, but the disc had a chip in it. Outside of that, I didn't come across anything that special this time around. I did, however, find a bunch of Guitar Hero games for the PS2 with various different prices. I don't know why. There was also that ATV Off-Road Fury 2 for a couple bucks, and if I didn't already have it, I would have snapped this up. Not that it's expensive or anything, I'm sure you could pick this up for under $5 anywhere. It's just a really fun game, and I highly recommend it if you ever come across it. I ended up going back to the same Goodwill with my dad about a week later, and of course, I forgot to charge my phone, so I was not able to record anything. I did find some pretty cool stuff though, like this CD Tower by Brookstone. I also found a few games as well, like the original Star Wars Battlefront, Thrillville, and this Guitar Hero bundle for the DS, which includes a pretty interesting controller that works surprisingly well. The final stop for today is a Goodwill that I don't really go to all that often, however I was in the area, so I figured why not. What the hell is this? Star Wars the Interactive Video Board Game. This is very, very interesting, but what are the chances that all the parts are going to be inside? It's not like the box is taped up or anything. I don't know. I'll think about it. I saw these at the corner of my eye and immediately thought of my dad. Problem is, these are tin reproductions, so there really isn't any value in them at all. Unless, of course, these were like really unique or special, there's no reason to buy this. Looking around at all the VHS tapes here, I found another glorious Charles Bronson movie. The only Bronson movies I'm really hunting for are those Death Wish movies. Those are just fantastic. Oh, and right on the same shelf is Delta Force 2, starring none other than Chuck Norris.
You screwed up. You forgot to read us our rights.
You're right. You have the right to remain silent.
As far as games, all they really had was sports titles, except for this PC game, World War II Sniper Call to Victory. I have played this a long time ago, and from what I recall, it's not even that bad. At the time I saw this, I decided not to buy it since I was worried it wasn't going to run on my Windows 10 PC, but about a week later I actually came back to this location and ended up buying the game anyway. And after going through a few different compatibility settings, it runs perfectly fine. So now I'm back to the Star Wars board game. Well, I checked to see if all the pieces were there, and guess what? They were, which was surprising not only because of that, but the board itself was in amazing condition. It's $5. I have to buy this. And that about wraps up another Thrift Store Game Hunting video, and as you can probably tell, I didn't pick up shit for games. No idea why, I usually have pretty good luck with this kind of stuff. Maybe I cursed myself by recording my trips to these places, who the hell knows. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Maybe next time we'll find some great treasures. Hopefully.